AI in 2026 is no longer about pressing tabs in Cursor and hoping it generates the right code. Today, it's about running agents, building systems, and putting guardrails in place so you don't waste your time or ship bad quality code. Over the last few months, I've iterated heavily on my own AI workflow. It's helped me ship features, grow this channel, educate, and overall multiply my productivity. So today, I'm not going to show you some random prompts, but instead, I'm going to show you how I think of AI as a system and not a shortcut. I don't rely on any single AI tool, but instead, I rely on multiple tools for specific tasks. I obviously use Cursor primarily as my editor because Cursor is really good at dividing that specific feature into smaller chunks so I could review the files. I could also restore checkpoints so in case I make a mistake, and overall small iterations. But I use Claude Code whenever I need to think deeper for complex features because honestly, Claude Code plan mode is the game changer. Claude Code is really good at generating files, reasoning, or working on really complex tasks. And because I have both tools, I'm not on the max plan of Claude Code yet. However, I plan to switch to that very soon. The key thing here is as I work on complex tasks early in the morning as first thing, once I run out of credits, I switch to Cursor so that Cursor can take over and complete the remaining easier tasks. So I switch the tools based on the task itself. Feature chunking with agents is the most important part of my workflow. I use the Claude Code plan mode to plan my feature and how I want to split them up into specific tasks. Based on that, I ask Claude Code to split and spin up multiple agents. Sometimes I also do that manually. Now, each agent has a specific responsibility. I also create an acceptance criteria so the agent knows exactly what to do. I try to avoid any overlapping files, but again, if there are any, it's pretty good at managing that. The biggest mistake I find is that people give AI too much responsibility at once. Now, again, if you are a solo developer, this might work fine. If you're working with several teammates, then it's not the easiest. I find that if you split your feature into smaller tasks and give that to AI, to different agents, it's really good at getting it right. And overall, you end up spending less time in the long run. The small scope always equals to better code, in my opinion. Adding guardrails is incredibly important whenever you want to prevent any over-optimization. AI is very good at over-engineering at times, so you have to be mindful of that. Because if you let it, it will add abstractions you don't need or complexity you never asked for. I always have a habit of reviewing exactly what every agent generates. I ask explicit questions like, is this necessary? Are there any bugs? Is it actually improving performance or is it just clever code? I find that speed without actually reviewing your code is what leads to tech debt really fast, and then you start losing control of your code base. So it's extremely important that you add review as part of your process. And this is why I use Git as a safety checkpoint, as a guardrail as well. Every meaningful change gets committed. Once an agent works on a task and I'm happy with it, I commit that specific change for that specific feature, so it's already in the commit history. I treat Git as my checkpoint system. If something were to go sideways, then I can easily restore that specific checkpoint. I kind of wish Claude Code had that just because Cursor does, so it's really easier for me. But again, I've gotten into the habit of using my commit history as a source of truth. If I'm not happy with it, I'll just undo all the unresolved changes. This way, I'm able to work with multiple agents in parallel, get them each to commit their changes. Sometimes it can lead to merge conflicts, but most times it's pretty good at managing it. I'm not sure about you, but I find that using my voice is way better than just simply typing. I'm lazier when I have to type, but if I have to tell someone or explain it to someone, it's way easier for me personally. So one thing that's drastically changed in my workflow is I don't just type, I talk to AI as a regular human, as you would with your teammate. Honestly, that's been a game changer. So when I'm walking or thinking through an idea, let's say I'm going for a walk or whatever, then I'll just talk to Whisperflow AI. When they're not sponsoring this video, I just find them really handy because they also have a mobile app. So when I'm on walks, I talk through exactly how I want to spit out that specific feature, and Whisperflow will get the dictation pretty accurate. This helps me clear any mental fog because the best way to learn about anything is to talk about it, is to teach it. Same idea. Whenever I start talking about the feature, I realize that maybe I'm adding unnecessary complexity and letting AI build the wrong thing. And this helps me clear any mental fog as well. Once I get a pretty good understanding of what I want to build and a clear overall high-level architecture, once the idea is clear, is when I switch to implementation and I will actually spin up the agent. But until then, I am reiterating in Claude Code plan mode. I'm using dictation on walks. And again, by having all this on the cloud, I can simply just copy paste it in Claude Code plan mode to show this is what I'm thinking and how I can take it to the next level. What am I missing? What I could add, and so on. And this is something I've learned over the years as well. It's more important to be clear and get it right in your head first before you start coding, because coding is the easiest part. So my philosophy in terms of the future of AI development has completely changed, because here's the bigger picture. Anyone can build anything they want. Now coding is not the most difficult part anymore. That's not the differentiator anymore. The real difference is code quality, system design, long-term velocity. That's what really matters, and how you could avoid accumulating tech debt over time, and how you could get AI to solve it right then and there. Developers who win aren't the ones that ship the fastest on day one. They're the ones who ship consistently without burning everything down and without incurring a lot of tech debt over time. It's extremely important that you focus more on not just how to write the code, but more on system design, code quality, and overall how you think of your overall code base as well. It's also easier to get distracted whenever you're working and having multiple agents running something at the same time. They typically have questions, so I always have them ask before you do anything, because I don't want them to start editing without asking me. So what I've done is I've configured Claude Code to enable desktop notifications. This way, even though I do get distracted, I get notified, so I can jump right to it and unblock that specific AI agent. Once I'm happy with it, once I know they're heading down the right path, then I just use the option of don't ask me, you can continue building. See, sometimes it may ask me for trivial things and I really don't want that, so I just continue with that. But initially, I definitely get it to ask me before implementing anything, so I know it's going down the right path. Now, this is the AI workflow that I have been refining over the past few months, and honestly, I've gotten to a pretty good place where I'm able to ship faster. I can just time box a specific feature and get it done without sacrificing any code quality. Now, if this was useful, let me know in the comments below. Now, if you want to dive deeper into design workflows with AI, running multiple agent systems, or how I actually build the app step by step, let me know and I'm happy to create a video on it. As next steps, definitely check out this build and deploy video where you build a production ready app with Next.js and Hono and the latest stack. Or check out this Next.js 16 crash course where I dive deeper into all the concepts you need to know about Next.js 16. Well, thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.